Okay, man, we're going to go ahead and get started. This is Old Street Kingz Magazine and Street Radio, and I'm here. Who am I here with today, man? Go ahead and introduce yourself for us.
Man, it's CIGE representing East St. Louis.
Okay, cool. Now, what I'm going to do, man, just to go ahead and kick things off and get things started, I'm going to go ahead and have you just give the people a background, idea of your background, how long you've been in the industry, how did you get started, and just kind of just start them off on your journey, man.
Well, 26 years old, born and raised East St. Louis. Like the first hip-hop or rap album I can remember hearing was actually the New Jack City soundtrack, and then from there I got introduced to Nas and Tupac and the Biggies and the Scarfaces, and then I just kind of developed a passion for music from there. From that point on, started actually writing songs in the 4th grade, but then actually start recording them until high school. So I've been at it since high school up until this point, just on an independent route, just trying to become an up-and-coming artist, i.e. St. Louis.
Okay, cool. If you had to compare yourself to somebody that's in the game now or somebody that was in the game in the past, who would best, be a comparison to you and your style?
I don't know if it's one particular person that I can compare myself to, because I try not to stay inside of a box. I like to do a lot of storytelling. So when I get into that aspect of the songwriting, people kind of compare me to Nas, because Nas is probably like one of the best storytellers and songwriters. Fab, when I get into the metaphors and the punchlines, it's a couple people that I can kind of compare myself to, but not one particular person.
Okay, so you do consider yourself a lyricalist then?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, what I'm going to do now is, do you have what projects are you working on right now, man? You have anything that you got on the streets, anything that's coming out or anything like that?
Right now, I have the No ID Volume 1. That's the first mixtape of that series. That's available on datpiff.com. And I just actually wrapped up Volume 2, which I just released a single for that project titled That Bridge that just released today. You can find that on YouTube. That's CIGE, That Bridge on YouTube. Also, songs from the previous project, Volume 1, Dear Mr. Alvin Parks, that's on YouTube. That did tremendous numbers on YouTube, and that Vlad mainly, and also a song I have called Keep Me in Your Memory, which is kind of like a Trayvon Martin tribute.
Okay, cool. Okay, let's go ahead and shift gears here a little bit, man. Let's talk about the industry out there. How do you feel about, let's talk about the local industry, and then we'll shift over to the national industry. Tell me how you feel about the local industry right now. Do you feel that there's support for local artists? Do you feel that the fans are there for local artists? How do you feel about the local industry here in the East St. Louis area?
I feel like I don't really think every artist supports other artists. I think the people show artists more support than actual artists. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to shows, people will come out and see who they came to see. After that, then, they kind of just gone. You know what I mean? After that artist is done with his set, then that crowd leaves. So it's like you have to have your own crowd, your own fan base with you when you go out to these shows. It's kind of like every man for himself, really. That's just how I see it.
Okay, so what do you think that it needs to happen for it to be able to go to the next level, like where you see like in ATL or in New York or even like out in the Bay Area?
Everybody in the A, it seems like they kind of stick together. Everybody collaborating with everybody. That's probably basically the key, just collaborating, more people working together. putting egos to the side or whatever it is. You know, some artists trying to charge the next artist, but, you know, they're, like, in the same position. You know, I mean, I don't know. It's just people just got to try to work together a little bit more.
Okay, cool. So what do you think about the music industry in general on the national level, even on the global level? You know, we know that, you know, the music industry of yesterday is not anymore. You know, things such as the internet technology, you know, digital downloads, peer-to-peer, the way people consume music with things such as iTunes and stuff like that has changed. How do you feel from an artist standpoint about the state of the industry today?
You mean like from a technology standpoint?
Even from, do you feel that it's as lucrative as it used to be? Do you think that there's a market out there for albums anymore, or has the whole blueprint changed? How do you feel about the whole music industry today?
I don't know if it's a market for albums out there today, unless you like a special type of dude, like a Drake or a Kendrick, because now with these types of sites and tools that people got, they can just kind of pick and choose what they want to hear from you. They don't even, you know, they ain't even got to cop the whole album from an artist if they don't want. They just pick 2 or 3 songs off the album and keep moving. I mean, technology can kind of help, and then it kind of hurt as well. I think it may have helped a little bit more because, you know, you got more lanes you can go down. I mean, you can make yourself more visible to the people through these different sites like the YouTubes and the Vines, and it's just a whole lot of tools that you can use if you're an up-and-coming artist.
Okay. Do you think it's made it more competitive for artists out there since everything has went on a global scale now? Or do you think
yeah, I think it's way more competitive.
Okay. So let me ask you a question about technology in general. You know, what technology are you using out there as far as social media or even hardware, like your smartphone, things like that, to do what it is that you're trying to do as an artist?
I mean, smartphones, like, number one, like, you can't even function as just a regular person without a smartphone. That's what it seems like. Of course, like the basics, Facebook and Twitter, the social media networks like the Vlad TVs, and then you got your World Star Hip Hops. I'm trying to branch out and find different hip hop blog sites. I'm going to try to take advantage of those also, but mainly just, you know, the main Twitter and the Facebooking.
Okay. And we spoke on albums and things like that. Tell me what's your feel about the Mix City hustle right now. You know, it was something very powerful here in the past. Do you think that it still has the juice that it had, or do you think that things have even changed on that landscape too?
You say the mixtape hustle?
Yeah, the mixtape hustle.
As far as like underground or like mainstream?
As far as underground, using mixtapes to break yourself as an artist or to build your brand out there, do you think that's still something that's viable out in the marketplace?
I mean, I think it's always going to be useful. I don't know if the majority of people are still using that same route. I mean, today it just kind of seems like people just come out of nowhere with a hot song, you know what I mean, versus this mixtape that they have, and then that leads to an album. It seems more likely like they're just coming out with a hot song, and the next thing you know, like they just big artists and they got an album out. But I think the mixtape circuit always going to be useful. It's just never going to go away.
Okay. If you had to choose, I'm going to let you choose 2 artists out there. They could be underground or mainstream. But tell me 2 artists that you're feeling out there and tell me why.
2 artists that I'm feeling. One will probably have to be J. Cole. It seems like he just make honest and real music. And second, it'll probably have to be back to Nas. Nas is always going to be one of my favorites. He always going to be one of the greatest artists. I mean, he always gonna be like one of the people that motivated me to start. So I gotta throw him on there.
Okay, go ahead and give me some influences of the past. Give me a couple of guys that you might not even be hearing about right now that was influential in your career. So it could be somebody like a Pac, a Biggie, somebody like that. Anybody out there who was instrumental, but they're not currently, in the game right now.
Well, of course, Pac, Biggie, Mace, just because he was like just so cool. I don't know if it's fair to say Nelly. I don't know if I could throw Nelly on there. I know he's still doing his thing, but I don't know if it's like on that country grammar level. But he's still a great artist. He's still one of the people who motivated me to do what I do as well, with him being from St. Louis, just right across the water. I don't know.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, what I'm going to ask you now, we're going to shift again on some things here. Okay, now, as far as collaborations, if you can collaborate now with, let's say 3 artists, who would you collaborate with on some songs?
One will probably have to be Kendrick, because I'm a competitive person, and he seems like he's a very competitive artist. And I really try to outdo everybody, basically. And I just think it'll be a challenge. I like a challenge, so I have to throw Kendrick on there. The Dream having to be like one of my favorite artists, period. I know he's not a rap artist, but he's one of my favorite artists, period, from a songwriting aspect. And last would probably have to be, I don't know. You can probably throw Jeezy or Rick Ross on there.
Okay. And since you did mention Kendrick, what do you think about his verse stating that he was the king of New York? All the rebuttals that came back from all these different hip hop artists and stuff. How do you feel about him saying? First of all, do you think it's a legitimate thing to say?
To say that he's the king of New York?
Right.
I don't know if he really meant it that way, like he's the king of New York. I think he was just saying like he's just the king, period. Like he's just killing shit, period. I don't know if he just meant like, he running New York. I think that's probably how people took it. But it was just competitive. I think the game is lacking that. Ain't nobody trying to, nobody wants to compete. I think everybody's just too cool, or they got too much money, or it's just too much this, too much that. Like, I don't know if the competitive spirit is there, but it seems like he brought it back for now at least.
Okay, good. If you had to sum yourself up with one word, what would be one word that would identify you as an artist?
Universal.
Okay, cool. What's future-wise? What lies down the road for you, man? Are you looking to branch out further than music? So what's your big vision? What's the big plans you have?
I would like to remain independent and get like some sort of major distribution. I would like I signing to a major is not out of the question. Like if everything is right and everything feels right. I just want to put out good music for the people. That's really the only thing I want to focus on is just getting that platform and that support to actually be heard on the mainstream before I even focus on any other type of ventures outside of music.
Okay. If you had to name one of the biggest challenges you'd face as an artist, in your time that you've been out here doing this in the game, what would be that challenge?
Probably just the lack of support, or just being like from a certain area. Like East St. Louis is known for a lot of negative things. Nothing really positive comes out of it when people speak on it. So I'm trying to come up out of that. Like if you're not able to do as much traveling as other people. So that's kind of like a big obstacle, just trying to shine through everything and be heard. That's probably one of the biggest obstacles, if not the only.
Okay. If you had to say a takeaway, what's been your biggest takeaway from the game up until this point? What's been the biggest lesson you've learned?
From underground,
from your whole journey, trying to be in this whole journey of being an artist, what's been your biggest lesson you've learned?
Basically, just to be yourself. Try to fine tune your music, and just try to be the best at your craft. You want to keep people entertained. It's I don't know. Basically, you just be the best, basically, because it's millions of people out here trying to do what you're trying to do, and you got to be different. You got to come with something different each time. You got to learn how to reinvent yourself and stand out. That's one of the biggest things.
Okay, cool. Okay, if I had to, I'm gonna say a word. You mentioned what it is. Okay, let's say what's been the hottest book you've read lately, man? Feed your mind.
The hottest book?
Yeah.
Currently, the only book I'm trying to read is the Bible. Really, I ain't really big on a lot of books. I'm on the web. I'm basically on a lot of hip-hop blog sites, and I'm checking out what's on there. But as far as, books, I ain't really read too many.
Okay. If we had to say movie, what would come to mind? Hot movie that you checking out or checked out?
Movie, one of the last favorite movies that I've seen happens to be The Town. And I don't know, I probably like that so much because I think Heat is one of the best movies that I've seen.
Okay.
So, yeah, probably The Town.
Okay, cool. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and take a few minutes, man, and just reinstate any projects that you got coming out. Also share with the listeners and the readers, the best way of being able to follow you online. So you talk about your Facebook, your websites, and things like that. So just go ahead and give a shout-out to yourself and some of your virtual properties where they can follow you at.
Right now you can follow me on Twitter at 618CIGE. That's CIGE. You can like my Facebook artist page, CIGE. You can go online and search that. SoundCloud as well. I post freestyles and various unreleased songs and songs that have been released. Like I say, No ID Volume 1 is already available. That should be on datpiff.com. That's a free download. And like I say, I just wrapped up recording on Volume 2, and I just released the music video for the first single, The Bridge, and that's available on YouTube right now. And we'll be on Black TV shortly. Right now, the biggest, most successful video I have today right now is Dear Mr. Alvin Parks. That's available on YouTube. I recommend people go out and they check that out, especially if they you St. Louis natives. Even if you ain't, it's a positive message, as well as checking out the Keep Me in Your Memory video on YouTube by CIGE, CIGE. And and if one more thing, if anyone wants to get at me for a collaboration, I'm open. CIGE22@gmail.com.
Okay, good. Now, one thing I forgot to ask you, bro, is how did you come up with that name, CIGE, man? Tell me the concept around that.
CIGE, well, my nickname is CJ, and one day one of the homies just called me CIGE. I don't know where he got it from. And when I was younger, I kind of broke it down, and it used to stand for, because I'm gangster enough, I just used to kind of just do and say what I wanted, but I ain't really going by that anymore. It's just CIGE. So that's really where it kind of evolved from.
Okay, cool. Well, it's your man O with Kingz Magazine and Street Radio. We just been chopping it up with my man CIGE out of the East St. Louis area. Man, we thank you for coming on today, man. Any last words before we go ahead and wrap this up?
I just want to thank everybody who supported my music. and I'm going to continue to, make music for the people. Just thanks for all the support.